Can you imagine a world without stories? No myths, no fairy tales, no once upon a time. Just silence. Long ago, that was exactly how the world was. Every story that would ever be told, every hero's journey, every lesson, every laugh, was locked away in a golden box hidden high in the sky. The keeper of that box was Nyame, the sky god, and he refused to share. Below him, the world was quiet, gray, and empty of imagination. But one small spider noticed what was missing. His name was Anansi. In West Africa, in the land we now call Ghana, Anansi was known as a trickster, clever, mischievous, and never the strongest in a room. Sometimes he appeared as a spider, sometimes as a man, but his greatest strength was always his mind. Anansi saw that without stories, people had no past to learn from and no future to dream about. So he decided to do something no one else dared. He spun a single silk thread into the sky and climbed all the way to Niam's palace. When Anansi asked to buy the stories, Niam laughed like thunder. Kings and warriors had offered riches for even one story, and Niam had refused them all. But amused by the spider's boldness, Niam named an impossible price. Anansi must bring him 4 fearsome creatures: Onini the python, Osibo the leopard, the Maboro hornets, and Moesha, the invisible fairy. Niam was certain the spider would fail, but Anansi bowed calmly and returned to Earth, already planning. Knowing strength would not work, Anansi used intelligence instead. He tricked Onini the python by challenging his pride, convincing him to stretch out for measurement, then tied him tightly to a branch. He trapped Osibo the leopard by digging a pit and pretending to help him escape, only to leave him tangled in sticky webs. To capture the Maboro hornets, Anansi pretended a storm was coming and convinced them to fly into a gourd for safety, sealing them inside. The final task was the hardest: Moesha, the invisible fairy. Anansi carved a wooden doll, covered it in sticky gum, and placed food in its lap. When the fairy grew angry that the doll didn't respond to her thanks, she struck it and became stuck, trapped by her own frustration. With all 4 prizes secured, Anansi climbed once more into the sky. Niam was stunned. The gods and elders watched in silence as the small spider laid the creatures at Niam's feet. What strength could not achieve, wisdom had. True to his word, Niam handed Anansi the golden box of stories. When Anansi opened it on Earth, the stories burst free like butterflies, spreading across villages and generations, into the ears of children and the hearts of adults. They traveled across oceans, carrying wisdom, laughter, and hope. And that is why the world is no longer silent. Every time a story is told, it is said that Anansi is still there, quietly weaving his magic, reminding us that wisdom will always be more powerful than brute strength.